Hi everyone, welcome back to Pickleball Around the Bay. Don't forget to hit the free subscribe button. Today we're visiting Castro Park in El Cerrito, California. We're here at the invitation of one of the area's pickleball ambassadors, Cathy. If you'd like a review of courts in your neighborhood, send us a note. Castro Park is officially located at 1420 Norvell Street, but a better address to use is 1441 Lawrence, where there is a small parking lot and street parking right next to the courts. There is a second parking lot off of Gladys Avenue. I couldn't find a coffee shop in the immediate area. The closest one is probably well grounded, about a mile away on Stockton Avenue. I'll leave a link in the description below. There are 6 dedicated courts here in 2 groups of 3, and they've been renovated recently with funding provided at least in part by the local community. The courts have nicely refinished surfaces and new permanent nets complete with center straps. There are no lights, however. The open play hours are limited to weekends 9 to 12, Monday and Tuesday mornings 10 to 12, and Wednesday through Friday 4 to 6 p.m., except during the winter months when that shifts to 3 to 5 p.m. Keep in mind that the open play hours often extend well beyond the posted end times, unless courts have been reserved. The courts may be used for clinics or lessons and can be reserved through the El Cerrito Parks Department. Of course, you're free to come anytime and play, but risk getting booted off your court if someone has a reservation. Some of the clinics are provided by the El Cerrito Parks Department, and registration is available through their website. There are also community-organized events detailed on the daily PB website. I'll put links to these resources in the description below. There are some really nice and well thought out features to these courts, and clearly the community was very involved in designing the setup. First, there is 1 court designated as beginner friendly, 3 courts are assigned for intermediate level play, and 2 courts for advanced play. Each set of courts has its own paddle rack. There are guidelines explaining how the court assignments can shift, however, depending on how crowded the racks are. The local regular players act as moderators to keep things running smoothly and avoid any confusion. But there doesn't seem to be any objective definition of the play levels by Duper rating, for example. The community has also developed a compromise system for regulating court turnover. If the courts aren't too crowded, then the system is 2 on, 2 off at the end of a match, with winners able to stay and continue to play. If the courts get too crowded though, it switches to 4 on, 4 off. There is a sliding indicator that shows which protocol is in effect. Again, regular players act as moderators and the guidelines are posted on the fence. There are good clearances around the outside of the court areas. Courts are separated by fences, and in another nice design choice, the fences have a PVC protective cover along the top. This is an upgrade over the usual thin plastic covering I've seen elsewhere. I'm not sure how often these will need to be replaced because of weathering, but they're a very nice feature. One minor shortcoming at the moment is the lack of seating in the waiting area. People have brought chairs and left them for the community to use, and I imagine getting some sort of benches installed will happen in the near future as budget and processes with the El Cerrito Parks Department allow. But bring a folding chair just in case. I was told by one of the regular players that lights were also a priority, but permit obstacles make it unlikely that lights will be installed. Another minor issue is the foot traffic between courts, particularly as players enter and exit the middle court in each row of 3. There is no direct entrance gate to the middle courts, so players have to pass through one of the other courts to get there. Finally, there are a couple of tall redwood trees lining the outside of the courts. These are very scenic, but they'll drop considerable debris on the 2 courts adjacent to the trees. There is apparently a broom available, but bringing a portable blower could be useful if you plan on using those intermediate level courts. I think the community has done an admirable job at trying to accommodate the various stakeholders, retaining open play while giving beginners and advanced players alike an opportunity to enjoy playing. The pros at Castro Park are 6 dedicated courts with new surfaces and new permanent nets, an innovative approach to combining open play with assigned beginner, intermediate, and advanced level courts, protective coverings on the fences separating the courts, and the level of community involvement. The cons include very limited official open play hours, no lights, and no seating. Overall, I give Castro Park an A-. Congratulations to the community for creating such a nice facility, and a special shout out to Cathy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the free subscribe button, leave a comment, and let us know if there are any changes to the Castro Park courts. See you next time.